seconds. 3.
Hello, I'd like to welcome everybody to today's podcast. If you're tuning in, thank you. We did not have a podcast in July, but we are going to recap some events that happened. We've been having some great weather, and I just want to say thank you for everybody for joining us today. One of the main things that we want to do today is just give you an update of everything that's happening. I just want to be thankful and grateful for all our officers for the hard work that they do. The men and women of the department are consummate professionals, and we want to make sure that we are, going with our community and making sure that we're all on the same page. And part of that is transparency. We're always going to be able to work with each other. We're always going to be able to have that connection, and that's all dependent upon you guys too. I want to give our department condolences to Fire Assistant Chief Chris Kiskaravich, who passed away on June 9th, and also to Pennsylvania State Trooper Jack Rugo Jr. His end of watch was June 17th. And we want to wish our condolences, our support for the families, for the colleagues, the co-workers. Anytime there's a loss, to family like that, it's always touching. They gave their lives for service, and they were very dedicated, consummate professionals in their own capacity. And so, to their families, I want to say thank you. The field of law enforcement, the fire service. We are made up of many people that give of their time, give of their talents, and we truly appreciate you for keeping us safe and, meeting us on our most worst day and also our best day and for saving lives. So thank you to the trooper and assistant chief for their service to our community. And if you can keep those folks in your prayers, that'd be great. That's something that we want to also do. One of the things that I want to talk about too is our crime stat updates. For violent crime is down 2.83% right now. Property crime is also down 7%. Our calls for service are in the amount of 50,194 for the month of July. Obviously, we're in August now, so it's a little bit up there. In total firearms recovered, we have 184 firearms recovered so far year to date. So our officers are out there, taking guns off the street and making sure that they don't get into the hands of people that would choose to use them illegally. And how you can help is by being watchful, making sure that you're reporting activity. It could be to our communication center. It could be through our TIP 411. But if you're reporting on TIP 411, if it's an active incident, I would ask that you call our communication center, because that's the way that we get the information to our officers and we're able to get that moving. So again, if it's an emergency, 911. If it's a non-emergency but still an active incident, contact our communication center at 610-437-7751. A Lehigh County dispatcher will answer and will ask you a series of questions. If you do not want to provide your information, we also have a substantial program called the Checkmate program, where you get sent a card and it replaces your name and contact information with just a number, such as Checkmate 1234. And when you call our communication center, you simply have to give that number. If you are interested in that program and you're an Allentown resident, you can reach out to our Allentown Police Department Community Outreach Unit. And in that way, you will get provided a card. We'll review it. The mayor and I will sign off on it, and you'll have that card. If we do need to get in contact with you for whatever reason, we'll know that. But when it's dispatched, it just simply has your information there, and that's something that is key. So please make sure that if you do want to do that, the key thing in here is also being a part of being eyes and ears out there as well. We're all over the place in the city, and we want to make sure that, we have partners in that as well. And that's such a good way into solving crime. And I just want to thank our team for, doing that and reducing crime that's out there. There's a lot that's happening, but the hard work by our patrol officers, our community outreach unit, our criminal investigations division, our support units, getting officers hired, that's something that is huge, because we want to be able to have that capacity to grow our department to be fully staffed so that we can engage in even more initiatives to keep people safe and to grow our community and truly impact our our quality of life, because that's the key thing. You know, I'm very cognizant. People are talking about the dirt bikes, and in actuality, we want to make sure that our dirt bikes are, you know, the illegal dirt bikes that are out there, that we're taking action on them, and that we're, you know, seizing them and complying with the law. And just to give you an update, we're also working on an update to that law so that we're able to be, you know, consistent throughout the Commonwealth, because it's truly something that has to be carried throughout, not just in Allentown, not Reading, York, but in the surrounding towns, South Whitehall, Catasauqua, you know, Emmaus, all the areas that experience dirt bikes. You know, the law needs to speak to that as well, because we want to be able to be consistent. As far as the media releases that we put out there, keep an eye on our Facebook and our social media. You know, we recently joined different formats, Instagram, Threads. You know, we're on Twitter. These are things that you can get that information real time. And it's important because sometimes there's road closures, or we have a police event happening, and we want to be sure that our public is aware of what's going on. And in that time, you'll see different arrests that were made, or just notifications of a street blocked off, or incidents like that. And this is especially true when we as a city work together in the different departments to have that capability to, you know, just know and see what's going on, especially like if a flood is happening. We're working diligently with our streets team, with our public works, with everybody involved, so that we can keep the road safe and let the public know, hey, you don't pass this road, you know, because it could be flooded or that type of thing. And we don't want you to become a victim of any form of flooding or anything of that nature. And that's the key part. So just keep that in mind as you're perusing social media, and we want to be able to have you fully informed. With that, you know, our community engagement is out there. Our team works hard to connect with the community. I had the distinct pleasure this past weekend to go to the PRCP Back to School event with Rob and Flor Velez, who were present there, leadership of the PRCP, Puerto Rican Cultural Preservation Association. And what a great time there, folks. It was a bunch of kids and their families, and they were stopping at different booths to just get informed, see what information is out there. Many different organizations were out there, and it was some good work that was being done. You know, and I what brought a happiness to my soul was seeing the kids smile and just really excited for the coming school year. And with that, make sure that as we're talking about school, that the kids are going back to school. So I want to say the message about safety. Make sure that if a bus is in front of you and it has its stop arm extended and its red flashing lights, that you stop. Because we will ticket you for that. And it's a very expensive ticket, and it also has an extreme number of points. So you don't want to do that. Nothing is worth rushing, okay? You want to make sure that our kids get on and off the bus safely. And also at crosswalks too. As we are in a rush in the morning time or in the afternoon time when the kids are getting out of school, be considerate of those around you. Look at traffic. Make sure that you sit there for those 5 minutes to let the kids cross. You know, it's important that we're patient and that we pass that on. And if you choose not to, you're going to be held accountable. So just be aware that overall we're looking to really crack down on that. And it's something that is very near and dear to my heart, because we want to make sure that all kids are safe crossing our crosswalks, getting on and off the bus, especially in this school year when what I want the children to focus on is getting a good education, moving ahead, and taking advantage of the opportunities that the education does give, because that's our connection to the future. I see Luis Acevedo posting. Thank you, Chief. You know, we appreciate you as well, Luis. Thank you for all the work that you do for our city, and it's something that, you know, we're in this together. There's no separation here, folks. It's not one over the other. We're all in this together. You know, how Allentown goes, I believe, is how the general area will go. And for those naysayers, I invite you to come, join an event, get involved. You know, come and be part of the team that makes Allentown what it truly can be, which is a magnificent city that it is. And it's something that we are going to do the work together. And it's not just the police, it's not just public works, it's not just city officials, it's everybody working together and making sure that we're on the same page. And so with that, I want to let you know a little bit about July 4th. The Powell campers visited the Cedar Beach pool. I believe we're going to have some photos up there on that. And, it's something that the Powell kids enjoy. They definitely like to go swimming. They do their different things. And they also learn about safety, because that's the key thing, and interacting with our officers. And those officers, truly do enjoy that, sometimes more than the kids, I think. But, we'll get them there. On July 6th, the campers visited Leaser Lake and they went fishing. I want to thank the PA Fish and Boat Commission for being present there, giving us some support in that. The safe way to fish, how to hook a worm, a night crawler or worm, and go out there and teach that to the children who may not have gone fishing before. And it's just a relaxing activity where you can kind of just reflect on the day, and when you get that bite on the hook or on the worm, you learn how to reel that in and then let the fish go. So you can see some of the photos up there with our team up there at Leaser Lake enjoying fishing for the day. Again, I want to thank the PA Fish and Boat Commission for coming out. Your support was very much appreciated as we look to live the mission of what that is, which is conservation of our natural resources. And also, a shout out to the Pennsylvania Game Commission as well, who has a very important task to keep our natural resources there and, beautiful for everybody in the Commonwealth. So that's something that's truly enjoyable. On the 16th of July, our campers got a visit from officers T.C. Cunningham and Jackie Murray from our crisis negotiation team. They got to learn a little bit about crisis negotiations and when we work on an individual that may be in crisis or is holding themselves barricaded in a situation. So they were able to see the equipment that's utilized, the technology that we use, and also our command truck that we have for the crisis negotiation team. And so the kids got to experience that, see some things there, and were able to ask a lot of questions, which T.C. Cunningham and Jack Murray were able to absolutely answer their questions and, kind of gain their ability of understanding in what we do in that part. And I'll tell you what, I wish I was a camper, because the next place that they went on the 29th of July, they visited Summit Adventure Park and the Blue Mountain Resort. So this gave an opportunity for the children to visit this resort and to take advantage of, again, the outdoors. And what a better way to engage with our children than to take them to different places and show them, just the different trails and scenery that's out there. Allentown's a great city. It has bunch of parks, and we want to keep our resources clean. One of the things, I'm going to go on a little tangent here. We've had some out-of-state visitors to our various waterways, and I want to repeat, please do not go swimming in our waterways. They are not there for swimming. You don't know what tides might be there, especially like at the Jordan Creek. We've had a drowning incident this past weekend where our officers, public safety officials, firefighters jumped in and rescued the young lady, and we don't want to see people wind up like that. So if you're coming into Allentown, I welcome you. Please come and visit, but please be respectful of our rules. Please make sure that you come informed. We want to make sure that this isn't something where garbage and other material is left behind on our waterways, where our parks department then has to clean up a multitude of soiled diapers, trash, hookah leftovers, things of that nature is what we're finding, and it's truly very disgusting. So if you have friends that are from out of the area and they're coming here, please let them know that that's not acceptable. And if you're parked illegally, your vehicles, if it presents a hazard, your vehicle is going to get towed, and you're going to pay more than what you thought of. It was just a little getaway. Please, you're welcome to come, you're welcome to visit, but follow the rules. And if you don't know the rules, you can look it up on our City of Allentown website under the E-code, and it has different rules for the parks that's there, so that you're going to be able to be informed and what the penalties are. Because just this past weekend, we went down to Trout Creek Park West, and there were people that were set up in the river with different things and doing a lot of stuff. I understand they were cooling off, but listen, the amount of trash that is left behind and some of the issues that happen, we want to make sure that everybody's safe, especially when they're coming to visit. So absolutely do that. And we ticketed a multitude of people and towed vehicles as well. So, if you're coming down, you don't want to put yourself or subject yourself to that. You're free to come and visit Allentown, like I said, but please do not cause an issue where you're leaving trash behind, where you're dirtying our environment or polluting our environment. That's not right. We we want to have a clean, safe, and healthy community. That's going to be something that you're going to see repeated throughout the city: clean, safe, and healthy. And dumping trash outside of a receptacle or not following the rules of the parks, that's not fun. That's not being neighborly. It's not being a good citizen. It's not being something that you should be proud of. If you have questions, please do that research. I believe there's going to be signage put out to emphasize that point, but it's going to be clear signage that you're able to understand easily. So with that, make sure that you take accountability for your own personal actions, and don't leave behind all that trash. Take it away, put it somewhere in a receptacle, and if it's overflowing, what you brought with you, take with you. Same as you go camping, you don't leave your trash all over the place. It's key. And, as a community, a city of Allentown, we welcome you. We encourage you to come and visit. We encourage you to, see all the sites that we have in the Lehigh Valley, especially the city of Allentown. But make sure that you're clean as well. Make sure that you don't dirty the area that you're on. It's about policing your area. Make sure that happens. So enough of that tangent, but I want to say thank you for those who do visit our parks and are respectful to the rules. We need to have more of that. And as a ambassador of the city or of the Lehigh Valley, we want to make sure that we're also a welcoming community. I'm not saying you can't come and visit. Please do so. We have a lot going on here in Allentown, and it's only getting better day by day. But it'll be that much better if we all follow the rules, the laws, and everything of that nature. And if you don't, prepare to be held accountable. So that's my message for that. On July 31st, Officer Reyes and Officer Beitelman visited our friend Devin in the hospital. Devin is going through some things right now, and it really cheered up his day. And I did speak with Devin on the phone, and he was truly very, very appreciative. And I can't say enough good things about Devin. He's very supportive of our police officers. He was truly very happy about both Officer Beitelman and Officer Reyes coming through. We would talk about, I handled a canine in the past, and we would talk about my canine because he had a dog as well. And it was something that, we kind of, we kind of want to make sure that our friends and supporters out there know that we're with them. And for those that may not have a liking of police, I'm hoping to change your hearts and minds. So, give it a chance. Let's communicate. Let's sit down. Let's talk. And it's something that we want to do and be sincere with. So thank you to Devin for having us, and I appreciate the phone call that you gave. And if you're watching, Devin, my prayers are with you, my friend, and keep up the good work that you're doing. You put a smile on our officers' faces there. You can see Officer Reyes on the left and Officer Beitelman on the right, and Devin with a smile, precious smile. So thank you, Devin, for being there. And we recently held the Classics and Cruisers event that was held on August 13th. I want to thank Assistant Chief Jim Gress for the hard work that he did, and other city folks that have participated in that. What a beautiful footprint that they put there. There was multiple vehicles of all types, from Camaros to Corvettes to the old style 1930 cars that were there. And, I was honored to pick the Chiefs Award. And the one that I selected was an Oldsmobile, and it was truly very nice. But, it was a great time. It was a beautiful day. The city of Allentown welcomed a lot of people into that. And Chief Gress did an amazing job with putting that together and making sure that the experience of the people that visited Allentown went away with some nostalgia of the cruising time from back in the former era. But we want to say also thank you to the vendors that showed up. There were many folks there that were present, also visitors from out of town. And, Allentown welcomes you. We thank you for coming through. And it's experiences like that really put the downtown area on the map, and also Allentown, because we are a community that is supportive of things that are happening out there. And that's something that is positive. See, I have a message here from Christian. It says, focus on the drug dealers in the city of Allentown. That goes without saying. Our focus on reducing crime, especially removing drug dealers from the community, is 100% a priority. We don't want people to peddle their poison. And that's something that I said, that if you see something, say something. It's not about snitching. That snitching thing is meant from the people that are choosing to commit crime as a thing for folks to say, well, I don't want to be a snitch. But the bottom line is, we are going to make sure that people are held accountable, and we have been taking off fentanyl from the streets, removing guns, multiple search warrants served, and it's something that you're going to continue to see. So if you know of an area, I invite you to send it to our tip 411. You can download video or media on that, and we'll be able to check it out, and we'll get it to our vice unit and also to our patrol officers who are very diligent in looking for that type of activity, because we don't want people to overdose from the drugs that are out there. A lot of what is out there is fentanyl, and that is very deadly. So you don't want to do that. And if you overdose, we want to see you survive. We want to see you beat that addiction, and we want to see you get the treatment and help that you need. I very much support our Blue Guardian program, which connects a certified recovery specialist with one of our police officers. If that person suffers an overdose here in the city of Allentown or throughout Lehigh County, they have an opportunity for treatment. And that's something that will indirectly affect the crime rate, in my view, because that person, if they're committed to their sobriety and they're following through with that, that's going to have less impact. That's going to reduce the crime that may be committed to try to support that habit. And those drug dealers who are choosing to sell their illegal items in our community, they are going to be held accountable. But it does take that time to make sure that folks are doing that. Let's see what we have here. Mike, great question. I'm going to cover that in a minute. Mike asks, will Allentown Police ever get an interactive crime map like other towns where you can see the locations of and types of crimes on a map? Absolutely. We're currently working on a couple of different dashboards, in the transparency dashboards. That's going to be both public facing and internal for our officers. But it's something that we do want to get the message out to the community. We've been working with a vendor, so stay tuned on that end so that you can look at data and see exactly what's happening. Because there's nothing that I want more than our community to be informed, so that way if you see something, say something. You're also going to see an uptick of communication, and that's going to be something that is awesome. I have Shanique asking here, when will APD be hiring again? Shanique, thank you for asking. We're actually recruiting right now. If you go to joinallentownpd.com, it has a brief application that you can sign up for, or one of your friends can do that, whoever you have in mind. And it's a simple application. It doesn't ask too many questions at this time, but it does have our disqualifiers and everything that you can read through, and also what the physical fitness test would be. And you fill that out, and there's no application fee. That goes until October. And then we're going to be testing after that. I believe it's November. And then at that point, we're going to have the test. So we currently gave the test before. We're going to give it again because we want to make sure that we're building our capacity. Because what I want is I want to have a presence of officers, not just in the downtown area, but throughout our city, east side, south side, west end, center city, all throughout. And that's going to be something that is a top priority. So what the magic secret is in reducing crime is boots on the ground, law enforcement, holding people accountable, and that's not going to change. Our mission is to make sure that we're policing our community, but doing so with the community, not against, and that's the difference. If we're working together and we're making sure that we're on the same page, we're transparent to our public, we're going to be able to make that impact. But it takes good people to rise up and be that officer, be that difference. I can think of many different officers on our department right now that are doing that day in and day out, but we need more. And I invite you, if you're currently working somewhere and you say, well, I don't know, give it a try. You never know unless you try. You take that step, and you'll see. Being a police officer is an excellent career, and I recommend it to everybody. But just circling back to the Classics and Cruisers event, I just want to say thank you to Jim Gress, Assistant Chief here in the Allentown Police Department, put it together. It's something that we look forward to each year, and I look forward to it next year. I'm sure it's going to be an even bigger event. So thank you to Jim and the team that put that together, and our city colleagues that assisted with that as well. Community meetings coming up in August on just this August 15th. The Riverfront was from 7 p.m. at 501 Ridge Avenue, and we're going to put up a thing on that one. On August 16th, the Muhlenberg is a Zoom meeting that passed by. September, they're going to be the list there that's going to have it, but it's West Park, Robb area. You guys can read that up on the board. But if you want to get involved, please, by all means, do so. Not everybody knows that there's a community group in their respective neighborhood. So search out where you live at in the city of Allentown. Go see a meeting. It fills you in on information that's happening in your neighborhood and things that you want to be aware of. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just police related. It could be just anything with city related. The city has the 311 app, which can be utilized for things such as potholes or down wires, things of that nature. And so we want to make sure that our community is aware of all these different networks and things that we have running in the city to keep you informed. And that's also something that we want to do for you. And it's key that we're able to have this happen because, like I say, we want to engage with the community. And if you're interested in knowing more, you can reach out to your community outreach unit, to Sergeant Bill Williams or Sergeant Leonard. And that number is 610-437-7741. And they'll be happy to, guide you through the process or to answer any questions you might have about specific community groups. Look here, hold on a second. All right, so we'll be hiring. Not a problem, happy to help. Let's see, Christian again asked about schools opening soon as students. Some schools have problems to control teens on the streets. Any plans? Absolutely, Christian. Thank you for bringing that up. Some of the issues that we get, young kids congregate in certain areas, and we work with the school district. They have a new school safety security director who we've been in contact with, and we're working on plans to address many of those concerns. A lot of it is making sure that the kids' times are set for school and that they're not milling about in the various gathering areas, such as West Park. We want to keep that park beautiful, just like any neighborhood or any area. We want to make sure that our kids are going to and from school in a safe and effective manner. So we cut down on fights. And part of this to cut down on the fights is having our SROs in the school, because they're engaging real time with our students, with our teachers, with the administration of the school. And we work very closely with Dr. Burks and her administrative team so that, we can kind of connect on those things and keep our kids safe, because that's the key thing here. And we want to make sure that if they're experiencing any issues or problems, that we work it through collaboratively through the school, through the city police department, through our school resource officers who truly do advocate for our children and make sure that they're safe. One of the things I want to talk to you about is this weekend, August 26th. We have a very excellent event coming back, and it's in conjunction with Pastor Blunt. And this event hasn't been held since before COVID. It kind of took a little break just because of the COVID, and now it's coming back. That's Cops Meet Block, folks. That's this Saturday from 12 to 3, and it's going to be at Valenia Park. So please come out and support that effort. We want to make sure that, you meet some of the officers, and that, it's basically our officers are going to team up with some members of the community. I'm going to play some basketball. There's going to be some cookout, I believe, and a couple of different things that are going to happen just to talk about reconnecting with our community. And at Valenia Park there, what an excellent job that they did there. The renovation that they did, the basketball court is new. It's just, the layout is spectacular. So if you're new to Allentown, or if you're new to the area and you can make it out that day, August 26th, we'll be there with our officers. That's this Saturday from 12 to 3. Bring the kids out. There's a playground in the background there. There's a basketball court, and you'll get to see different things of that day, meet local officers that are working here in Allentown. And it's a day of connection, because it's something that is positive for everybody. So have fun with that. And, I look forward to seeing this. One of the things that I also want to say is, I'd like to ask Detective Garcia to talk a little about crime prevention, because some of the things that we have going on is to make our community aware of things that are happening. I think Detective Garcia can give a brief rundown on some of the things that you can look for in relation to crime prevention, so that we can become, not an easy target, or we can be aware. And that's all part of that transparency. That's all part of making sure that we're competent in what we're doing.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Chief. So real quick, just to touch on some of the things, our biggest thing is communication, right? So being able to communicate with your families, your friends, your neighbors. If you see something suspicious, if you remind someone, hey, make sure you remove the things from your vehicles. If you see an open door, if you see something suspicious, we're always reminding folks, don't hesitate to call us. It's better to be proactive in that perspective, because that's what crime prevention is, being proactive in that respect. So we put out every evening, like we've said, the entire year, 9 p.m. routine, where we get in a routine where we are locking up. We are letting our kids know, our family know, hey, did you lock the car? Did you take the stuff out of the back? Did you take the gifts out that we got for Christmas, or whatever the case may be, right? So communication. And obviously we're going to get to the schools. We do the fifth grade social media awareness for the kids. Obviously, we're going to put out, again, for not necessarily crime prevention per se, but the stop sign message for our kids in schools. We visit the senior centers so that our seniors are protected when they're getting those fraud calls or those fraud emails, those type of things. And if you have a senior that you want to have a conversation with us in that perspective when it comes to crime prevention, please reach out to our community outreach unit. We're more than welcome to come out and talk to them if they have any questions. We visited several senior centers, and we're going to continue to do that. Looking at everything, we are looking good when it comes to our crime stats, Chief, and some of the things that we're doing are really, really helping our community. But it starts, and as you know, Chief, and we've said it 100 times, our community working together with us. So that's the crime prevention perspective, and just thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please share the live. We really enjoy doing this, and we do it every month. Thank you.
Thank you, Detective Garcia. Truly appreciate that. And I just want to underline and emphasize the 9 p.m. initiative that we have as well, because the 9 p.m. initiative, we send a message out every night, every evening at 9 p.m., and it's kind of reminding folks to lock their doors, make sure that you take your valuables out of your vehicle or store it out of sight and locked and secured. That's probably one of the most common crimes that happens in Allentown, and I'd love to reduce that very preventable crime. And listen, I'm not blaming anybody for forgetting things sometimes out in the open, because, you know, life gets busy. You're taking the groceries in, you might forget your laptop or tablet or something, and it gets left in the car. Somebody's walking along, you may have forgotten to lock your door, and they might check the door handles, open the door, and take the tablet, and now you're missing your tablet because somebody stole it. That's something that could be very preventable by making sure that you're just cognizant, remind yourself. And that 9 p.m. initiative is just that. It's that epiphany that it clicks in your mind. You're thinking, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to turn my porch light on. I'm going to keep an eye out. If I see something suspicious, I'm going to report it. I'm going to call it in. And that's the way that we kind of do things, because I want to make sure that our folks know that it's not a bother. Right? A lot of times I hear people say, I'm sorry for calling you and bothering you, but it's not a bother. You know, we want to make sure that we're responsive to our community needs, and we want to make sure that we can impact our community with something as simple as that, and just having that presence, because an officer may be in that general area at that time conducting proactive patrols, and if they're able to see somebody doing things that you know, is out of character or suspicious, we definitely want to follow up on that. If nothing, we're going to be able to check on them and see who they are and maybe provide them with some help. You know, especially coming up too, with having this informed of what's happening. One of the things that we do is have Citizen Police Academy. And in September, currently, we have a Spanish Citizens Academy coming up. So para nuestros ciudadanos que hablan español, tenemos una academia que va a pasar en septiembre. Los días va a poner en la computadora ahora para usted pueda aplicar. Y si usted quiere, vas a oír qué está pasando en el departamento de policía en español. For those folks who don't speak Spanish, we're going to hold a Spanish Citizens Police Academy. We have the flyer there, and it has all the information. You can sign up for it. I do know a certain DJ that's in the La Mega is going to come out. I spoke to him on Saturday, and you know, he's putting that out there too. So he's going to experience the Allentown Police Academy in Espanol, in Spanish. So, you know, if you are interested in learning that, we're very much going to look to do that, and we want to engage with our community on many different levels, not just one aspect of our community, but our entire community. And for those that may say, well, I don't know, give it a shot. Come out, learn something, and you know, apply. And it takes nothing, but you follow along the flyer there. I believe that's posted to our Facebook page and pinned to our social media. So again, I want to just you know, I want to formally thank Detective Garcia for, you know, putting us forward on Facebook, on Instagram, on Threads, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on all the different social media sites, so that we can have as much of a reach. But it's not just that. It's about also sharing this and making sure that people are aware of what's happening in your police department. This isn't just my police department. This is our police department, and we're working this together. And, you know, the key part with that is to stay informed, stay connected. We might not always agree on things, but we're going to do things that are going to solve some of the concerns that are out there. And it's something that we have to do that. And, you know, Well, Christian has another question here. Thank you, Christian. Yeah, we were actually engaged with. It's going to be released very shortly, but we're going to have multiple cameras set up throughout the city in the range of decreasing crime and keeping people safe. Because it's important that we do utilize technology so that we can work to keep things efficient, safe, and again, going back to what I talked about. Remember, one of the key things for Allentown. This was probably a good phrase and motto for the city: is cleaner, safer, and healthier. We meet things that are clean, safe, and healthy, we're going to improve this city 100%. But it's going to take the work, the collaboration of everybody together to kind of make that better. And also I want to say something too. If you see something, I know sometimes it's like you want to post it on Facebook and put it out there. I'd encourage you to contact our communication center and report that activity. We don't monitor Facebook as we do our communication center because understand there's a dispatch that's made to the officer, and we don't dispatch off of social media. Social media will keep you informed and keep you with information, but if you want to report something, absolutely please. You can send, if it's an ongoing thing, you can send us an email, we'll follow up, and we'll look at it. But if it's something that's happening right then and there, again, if it's emergency, 911. If it's the non-emergency situation, 610-437-7751. Or if you want to reach out to our police desk, it's 610-437-7753. And an officer will answer the phone and guide you and assist you as you need. And you can also come down to our police station, file a report if you want to. We also do have a upcoming in October, a National Drug Take Back Day. But if you do have an assortment of unused or expired medication that you have in your cabinets, rather than that winding up in the community, please bring that to our drop box there. You can put that in there. We're open 24/7. You can come in through the front lobby and put that in there, in the cabinet there, and it'll be counted, it'll be taken, and it'll be destroyed, because we don't want to have that expired or unused medication out in the street. And I would much rather see it destroyed than not. We don't want to have people overdose or anything like that. So with that, just make sure that, understand that we're here for you. The Allentown Police Department is committed to meeting the needs of our community. And we're going to work hard. We have a lot of work left to do. We don't have all the answers, but this is why we're working together. And just as an aside, I want to take a special moment to thank our community intervention specialist, Ellie, who does a phenomenal job in helping those who are in crisis, those who have community needs, those who have mental health conditions. Our officers come across different types of calls, and we work collaboratively with many different segments with our community intervention specialists. That's through Pinebrook Family Answers. Also, we have a great relationship with Crisis and both health networks, St. Luke's and Lehigh Valley Hospital, who are working collaboratively and having regularly scheduled meetings so that we can truly address the issues that are out there. And folks, one of the things I want to say to you is each of you are smart. You can think and you can look. Things are solved by being collaborative. Things aren't solved by just a solo agenda of a certain thing. You will never hear me talk about, siloed approaches. It's about how can we come together as a community? How can we meet the needs of our citizens? Now, I won't sit here and tell you that police officers are mental health therapists. We're not. We're first responders, and we can bring a person to a de-escalated mode, and we can get them a higher level of care and treatment. And that's where our relationship comes in. So the experts who are the trained crisis workers, who are the individuals that can truly treat that individual, can get at them. And it's that circle, that continuum of care that we want to work as a mission together with the police, with our crisis workers, with the hospitals, the mental health folks, and the outpatient treatment services that are out there, or even inpatient. But we want to make sure that Allentown is a welcoming, inclusive city that it recognizes the needs of our community, and that doesn't happen without you. And for that, I'm very thankful and grateful for your continued support. We still have a lot of work to do, and we're going to continue to do it because we're a resilient city, and we have a good heart and a good passion to do this. So thank you. And with that, have a great day. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon.